Hello everyone, and Secret Lair here, and this will be my unit guide series where I go over each unit of the game, give my thoughts on the skills and how they can be used in the game. Today we are going over Uncle Sam, everyone's favorite uncle. He comes to the family party, steals the food, and fires off a bunch of rockets yelling America. Uncle Sam has a long history of being a tank support meta, and his active skill has pretty much broken the game for so long that developers have migraines thinking of how to nerf him without breaking the game again. So, it's all you want basically. Let's go to the boom. I want you. Uncle Sam conscripts an enemy unit to fight 2.5 seconds for his team. If the character is the last enemy, they are stunned for 2.5 seconds instead. Conscripted enemies cannot use their active ability and gain no charges. Charge per use 11. So, obviously when you look at this, you turn an enemy to your side, they fight for you, and it takes they've upped the amount of charges it takes, so 11 charges now before it goes off. And then he just does turning a fight from 5v5 to 6v4. It's just so amazing. It's great for so many things. So the skill is very good in arena where you need that 6v4 change. So everyone ends up using him. So it's either you use him so it's still a 5v5 after all the conscripts go off, or you risk being 6v4 to death. So everyone uses him. They've tried to fix it, and they've just ended up breaking things more. So unless they completely rework how Sam works, he's probably going to be in the meta for a long time. Next, you got Strong Constitution. All ally units receive 7.4% bonus damage and 7.4% HP and armor. So he's got a buff skill. He's got a passive buff skill. It's a decent low buff, but it's still a buff. I would say there's better buffers than Sam. Alright, so let's look at his last passive. So he's one of the newer heroes that has two passives. So it's called Conscripted. Gain specific boosts for enemy types conscripted. Heal for 30% of their max armor for melees. Gain 35% damage reduction for magic, or 70% damage for ranged. Overall, these boosts are nice, but they don't break the active skill too much. The health for melee counteracts the damage they've received, but could backfire. I'm not sure if this applies to him. So I'm not sure if this, does this boost apply to Sam or does it apply to the person conscripted? I'm not sure on that. Because if it's applied to him, then okay, awesome, he gets a boost if he ends up conscripting someone ranged. If he ends up conscripting someone a mage, he gets damage reduction. So I think it should apply to him. It makes more sense that way. And so it's a nice boost. This isn't going to be going off all that much because I don't think too many people they'll run one melee. So most of the time it should be these two, which damage reduction is nice. So you want it to conscript a magic unit. The 70% damage is kind of like whatever. And then we go to his melee masteries. He's got melee mastery 6, which is on the low end, so he doesn't deal much damage. He's got high armor and high HP, so he's meant to be a tank, to be able to get to that first I want you active to go off. So Sam is a great meta unit that the developers have been trying to nerf, as I stated. It's hard to nerf him without causing issues. When they did previously, they made it so he only targeted melee fighters, but that made melee fighters obsolete. So they reverted him. He doesn't target himself, which is great, but overall he either needs a rework entirely or nerf the conscript passive. Um, remove the passive that buffs him. 6v4 is already such an amazing active. There's no need to buff him when he conscripts someone. There's just no need for it. But you know, it's hard to figure out a good nerf for Sam. So far, so for now, Sam is a great unit to have. Definitely try to pull him. You know, he's amazing. Everyone has him. I have him almost at SSS. So definitely grab him if you can. And a simple tip for him, until you get to the much higher weapons, putting a dagger on him. So I'll go. Putting this, whoopsie, I went too far. Putting this dagger on him is really good because you'll notice the attack speed is 1.33 seconds per hit, and you'll notice this attack speed 1.25 hits per second. So this means he'll get to his conscript faster using this than using this. Once you get to a high enough weapon, then that matters less. You want the weapon damage versus the faster to get to conscription. But when you're first starting off, get this dagger as soon as you can and put crit 4 on it and give it to him, and pretty much never take it off him. The only other person that gets benefit off of using the dagger is Heimdall, but Heimdall is currently obsolete. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy my future videos.